the country has what it takes to do well in wrestling. Since then, efforts directed at revitalizing and promoting the traditional sport are championed by the Ministry of Youth and Sports as they try to put the right structures in place. The latest move was a sensitization tour of the country by officials of the Youth and Sports Ministry and the Wrestling Association. The first leg of the tour took them to Kerewan, Janjambure, Basse and Jarasoma. Top on their mission, which started in the North Bank region, was to set up regional wrestling committees and to propose a wrestling caravan tour in all the regions.
We want to set up committees that will look into wrestling in every region to make sure that they have worked cordially with the federation. They have to be affiliated with the federation. They also have to work hand in glove with federation, because if we decentralize all these setups that we want to set up, we think the wrestling will work in the country and it will move.
The regional wrestling committees, when established, will be tasked with organizing and coordinating wrestling activities in their regions, whilst the planned wrestling caravan tour will be a three-day wrestling fiesta in each of the regions, with a view to raising funds that will be used to sustain the regional committees.
Whereby the best wrestlers from the village will compete at the district level, and from the district level, now they will go to the regional level. And when it comes to the regional level, we have also a plan for that. And then Ablo will tell you about our preparation towards a nationwide tour.
For the governor of North Bank region, the move to revive the country's indigenous sports is in line with the country's development aspirations, whilst the North Bank region sports chairman reiterated the region's readiness to embrace this noble initiative to promote wrestling.
Agree that wrestling is a traditional sport, and it is only the people of this country who can revive it. With the support, we will be able to raise the flag up. I know, hearing from what you have said here, I think we have started some steps.
Wrestling in particular is to be given a special focus, because in the vision of our regional administration, it is our desire to be cultural giants in this country. For North Bank to emerge as a region of, as the cultural giant among regions in this country. And in order to be a cultural giant, fundamentally, you need to revive your culture, so that all those cultural facets would call for revival.
The message in the North Bank region was the same in all the other regions, with stakeholders committing themselves to the cause of reviving the age-old sports. The tour party left the island settlement of Janjambure feeling satisfied, having been assured by those in Central River region of their willingness to resuscitate the sport that remains very prominent and loved by the people of the region. For the people of Central River region, wrestling is an ongoing process. All they need is the intervention of the ministry and the Wrestling Association. Basse in the Upper River region was another place where the call to revive wrestling was received with open arms. Members of the Regional Sports Committee, one after the other, spoke on the importance of promoting wrestling, which they believe can bring the country glory. Fru Gomez, who heads the region's sports activities, promised to set up a committee within 2 weeks and work will commence immediately. He, however, stressed the urgent need of putting in place the right infrastructure. The 4-day sensitization tour wrapped up in Jarasoma. Like in the other regions, stakeholders in the Lower River region also resolved to make this move a success. The latest move by stakeholders to regain wrestling's lost glory looks promising, and if the words of the stakeholders are anything to lean on, the initiative, when implemented as planned, will surely bring the results. The tour continues in West Coast region, KMC and Banjul, but for now, wrestling enthusiasts will be waiting and watching with keen interest. Momodes Jallo, GRTS Sports.
All right, viewers, I'm now joined in the studio by Momodo S. Jallo, the very producer of Sports Tonight. Momodo S. Jallo, I've understood that you've, the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Wrestling Association, embarked on a nationwide tour sensitizing people on wrestling. Can you give us an insight into what happened during the tour?
Yeah, thank you, Fat. So once again, like we said, this was a nationwide tour embarked on by the officials of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. and officials of the Wrestling Federation to go down to the regions, meet stakeholders who are into wrestling, to make sure that they sit with them, discuss with them on ways and means to revive and promote wrestling. We all know wrestling is one of the sports practiced in this country, in fact the indigenous sports of this country. Wrestling is something that is not borrowed, as we always keep saying, but it has been on the back pedal for the past years. So the Ministry of Youth and Sports is trying to revive wrestling, since it is not only sports but also part of our culture. So efforts have been going on over the past few years to make sure that this particular sport is being revived. And the latest is this tour that was embarked on by the officials of the Youth and Sports Ministry and the wrestling associations. They met with people in all the regions, LRR, URR, CRR, North Bank region, West Coast region. Today they were supposed to meet those in Banjul, and tomorrow, Thursday, they will be in the KMC. What they are trying to do is to restructure the wrestling, how wrestling is managed throughout the country. One of the main points of their discussions with the stakeholders was how to establish regional structures that will be responsible for organizing and coordinating wrestling in all the regions. Wrestling is something that has been going on. It's an ongoing process. You go to regions currently, almost all the regions are organizing wrestling at their village level, district level, you know, at the regional level. Like what the Mandingas will say, a Mandinga proverb that, you know, Ikongala, I started a larine. Do you understand? They are already doing wrestling in the provinces. So it's just a matter of trying to reorganize them. You understand? Try to provide the structures, try to provide the finance and the infrastructure, and make sure that, you know, they are given the training and the guidance, so that, you know, wrestling is promoted from where it is to another level where we want it to be. So
those were the key things lacking. Finance.
Yeah, finance. Yeah, finance, infrastructure, a better structures on the ground. Yes, are what are lacking. But get this thing, get the structures in place, like get the regional sports wrestling committees on the ground to be organizing wrestling in the regions, from the village level, the district level, to the regional level, then to the national level. You understand? Get the structure, the infrastructures, have very good wrestling arenas in all the regions, and also major villages and towns will also help to improve and promote wrestling. And the other thing that they discussed was a wrestling caravan tour, whereby they will be going to all the regions and spend their 3 days, let's say Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, organize a wrestling caravan tour where there will be massive wrestling contest and also a fundraising event. The funds that are generated from that wrestling caravan tour will be given to the regional wrestling committees, so that they will be able to use that money to better organize themselves and better organize wrestling. So that is one important point that I've found very, very interesting. If implemented as planned, this is one move that is very, very, very good and taken by the ministry and also the wrestling associations. And commendations should go here to the newly appointed desk officer at the National Sports Council, which is Abdullah Bojan, known as Abulo, for coming up with this initiative to make sure that they travel to the entire length and breadth of the country, discuss with the people, orient them, and tell them this is what we want to do. And the commitment is there from the stakeholders, especially in the region, that they're definitely in support of what this initiative is all about. Revive wrestling, it's our sports.
That's all we've got time for in this edition of Sports Tonight. Thanks for watching, and see us next week. But before you go, enjoy some of the best goals scored in this season's English Premier League.
Susain. Oh, it's a fantastic goal! What a wonderful goal! Breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking by Pape Cisse. Carroll gives it back to Bale, which isn't the daftest thing to do because of shots like that. Amazing, even by his standards. Eden Hazard! Magical! It's a picture of a goal from Eden Hazard. Too hot to handle for Begovic. Seb Watson! Sensational.